Hey guys, going to show you how to clean a glazed over stone. Now this one here, I very intentionally have basically used this stone unlubricated for the past little bit, just to show you what happens to an abused stone. Eventually what's going to happen is you're going to get metal, it's going to get into the pores of the stone, and it's going to make it not cut as well. So, I typically do this in a sink, but I just can't get a good camera set up in my sink. So we're going to do this in a little tray of water here. And what you're going to need is some nice hot water, your stone. I use plain Dawn, which, as you can see, there's some soap in the water here. That's from the stone, because I always use that for lubrication anyway. So obviously there's been some in the pores. And then some wire brushes. I've got a file card, which I like because it has a very nice, very sharp bristles to it. Here's like a little Harbor Freight one. It's got some softer bristles, and this one here, which I think I already showed you, has some really strong bristles. So we have different kinds of bristles, and that's really good for helping you out here. Now the trick to this is to get as much of this stuff to the surface as we can. Now if we just get this wet, you can see it's really not coming off. You know, even if we can probably get some, but you can see we're not really getting it out. It's actually in the stone. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little Dawn on there. We're going to hit this up with whichever brush I feel like first. And we're just going to give it a little scrub. Scrub, scrub, scrubberoo. Now, what you'll notice fairly quickly too is it coming to the surface. You'll basically start floating the particles of metal. So what I do is I float them, give it a wipe. Your paper towel is not the best thing to use for this because it breaks off on it. If you can use a rag, it's actually much better. Just a little FYI. And you're going to keep repeating this process. And it's going to take some time. You know, when you let these things really get charged up, it's going to take some time. So, big thing is keep your water. You know, because what you want to do is you want to float these things. And sometimes too, putting these at an angle helps, because then you can see how it runs down. It kind of does the work for you. This is way easier, of course, in a sink. But you can see this is all metal shavings. You can see how it's cleaning up actually quite nicely. So we're going to give that another little wipe down. Get what we can off it. And this time, we're going to apply some Dawn directly onto the bristles. Just because. Why not? And we're going to try this bigger brush, which you can see is way more effective. Like I said, different brushes, different grits, things work. Trust me. Whereas sometimes this one will work fantastic, this one won't. I guess it really depends on the grit of the material in here that you're trying to pull up. And I hope you guys are starting to get the point. But as you can see, this material is slowly coming out. Basically what we're doing is we're floating it to the surface. We're getting it wet. We're using the Dawn to float it. And what's going to happen is it gets more and more, especially as the stone starts to absorb more and more water, it's going to float more and more to the surface. So, we're going to give the file card a try. See what kind of results we get out of that. And, see. See, that isn't doing a ton. Yeah, it's pulling some off, but Not like this one was. I mean, look how much we're floating to the top there. And we're actually getting pretty clean. You can see we're definitely making some progress and removing a lot of material from this. So there's that. I'm also going to show you, just because I know this is a new stone, and you're going to say, oh, bushcraft, that's a new stone. Come on, let's get something a little dirtier. So we're going to pull up one of these old vintage stones. This is an old India stone, and we'll see what we can do with that. These India stones clean easy. That's one thing I have noticed. But yeah, it's in there. Pretty good. Now, if the whole Dawn thing ain't working for you, and you aren't getting anywhere, one other option, of course, is solvents, gasoline, kerosene, things like that. You can definitely use them to do this as well. So this one here is pretty stubborn. This stuff's really in there. So this might end up needing a little bit of gas or something. That's pretty much as simple as it gets as far as cleaning these. These smaller stones, especially the natural stones, are real easy. They clean real easy. Especially if you don't let them get bad. You know, you use Dawn on them as you go along as lubricant, and you pretty much won't really have many problems with these. Dawn works fantastic as a lubricant. I don't know why people use oil when they use Dawn. Something like that right there, that cleans up. If you do this every time you use them, you know, you're not going to have major issues. It won't get as bad over time. Here's that little one we used. You can see that got kind of dirty. Look at that little Dawn Rue. You can tell I use these dry too, which never really a good idea. That came nice and clean. Yeah, she can't tell the difference between the two sides now. Here's some of these cheapies. These are the same as an India stone, Chinese made ones. I use these a lot on my axes. As you can see, that didn't even really penetrate it much at all. That's probably, doesn't even need a brush. Yeah, you can probably just wipe right off. Yeah. Yep, those clean up pretty easy. There you go, guys. It's real simple. It's real easy cleaning up these stones, especially. And the big temptation you're going to have, of course, is to try and make them perfect. Especially when you buy the used ones, you're going to get them. You're going to scrub. Don't freak out about it, guys. Take your time. Use the stone, clean it good. Use the stone, clean it good, and over time you will get it clean. You know, I can't see, and I just can't justify spending an hour of my time cleaning a stone perfect to use it and dirty it up again. For me, I'd rather just kind of clean it a little bit every time, and eventually it'll come nice and clean. And it's not hard work. I know it's, but as you sharpen, it really make this as part of your routine when you sharpen anything, and it does make things go a lot easier. Now, of course, I probably got a ton of paper in the pores of this, but you know, I didn't want to run out in the garage and grab a rag, so I guess my laziness is on me. So I hope you guys enjoyed.